Hi, my name is Brooke and I work with Nebraska Agriculture in the classroom. How many of you have heard of the word agriculture before? Agriculture is the science of growing crops and raising livestock. Crops are plants that farmers grow for us to eat or for our animals to eat, and livestock are farm animals. Can you think of some crops that farmers could grow right here in Nebraska? If you said corn, soybeans, wheat, dry beans, potatoes, sugar beets, those are all some of the crops that we grow right here in our state. What about livestock? What are some farm animals that a farmer could raise on their farm? Maybe a beef cow that gives us beef. We have dairy cows that farmers raise in Nebraska and they give us milk to make cheese, butter, yogurt, ice cream. Pigs provide us with pork, and we have chickens that provide us with eggs or meat. Just to name a few of the things that relate to agriculture right here in Nebraska. Today, we are going to learn about all of the different ways we can use corn. And at the end of at the end of this presentation, we'll be making our own corn plastic. Can you tell me of all of these ingredients and all of these items that I have right here? Do these products contain corn or are they corn free, meaning they don't have any ingredients that contain corn in this product? So we have aspirin, baking soda, bubble gum, diapers, matches, Snickers, corn tortillas, shoelaces, crayons, batteries, crunch berries, laundry soap, Coca-Cola, and pasta. Of these products, which products contain corn? All of these products contain corn except one, which is the rotini, which is a pasta, which would use wheat to make those noodles that we could use. Some of these products have cornstarch as an ingredient in them, like the diapers, the matches, the aspirin, baking powder, even the batteries have cornstarch for insulation. We use starch in our shoelaces to help them tie smoothly. Our crayons have corn oil in them. Laundry soap has cornstarch. We use corn flour for our tortillas. We can use for our bubble gum and Snickers and Coca-Cola. They all contain corn syrup to help make those. So corn is found in a lot of food products we use and a lot of other things as well, like batteries and the crayons that we color with, laundry soap, just to name a few. This is a poster that shows additional items that we get from corn. So we talked a little bit about aspirin and batteries, even the chalk that we can use out on our sidewalks. Ethanol is a gasoline that we can burn in our cars. It comes from the corn plant. We can use corn to help us make fireworks, glue, ice cream, rubber tires, shaving cream, even toothpaste. A lot of different things that we use in our everyday lives comes from the product corn or the crop corn. And farmers grow corn in their fields every year. In Nebraska, we raise 4 different types of corn primarily. Corn is grown to meet various food and production needs. And corn is classified by its kernel type. We have dent corn. This corn kernel is a hard kernel on the sides and soft in the middle where the dent forms. It is called dent corn because if you look closely in these pictures, there's little tiny dents in the kernel. This type of corn grows on a red cob and it is fed to a lot of our livestock animals like beef cows or pigs, they love to eat this crop. We also use this type of corn called dent corn to help us with our ethanol and a lot of other products that we use each and every day. Sweet corn, you might have heard of before. It has a soft kernel and it is mostly sugary when harvested. That gives it the sweet taste that we get to enjoy, called sweet corn. Sweet corn grows on a white cob and it is picked from the field before it turns hard like the dent corn. The next type of corn we grow in Nebraska is popcorn. The popcorn kernel is mostly hard with a small, soft center. We are the #1 popcorn producers in the United States, so we get to grow more popcorn than any other state does, which is really cool. Popcorn grows on a cob just like the other corn we eat does. And another common type of corn we grow in Nebraska is called white corn. The kernel is mostly soft for the most part, but we use this type of corn to help us make a lot of our food products like corn chips, corn tortillas. It gives us that corn flour that we can use. Sometimes this is called food grade corn as well. So the 4 main types of corn are dent corn, sweet corn, popcorn, and white corn. Before we can make our corn plastic today, we need to know the difference between renewable and non-renewable resources. I have a few pictures I want to share with you, and I want you to guess if it's a renewable resource or a non-renewable resource. Energy from the wind. Wind energy can be used to provide electricity to homes and for other needs. Energy from the wind can be collected on any day with little wind. Do you think wind or energy from the wind is a renewable or non-renewable resource? If you guessed renewable, you are correct. Oops. Our next type of energy is from the sun. Solar power is energy that is collected from the sun's rays and used for everyday power needs. Solar energy can be collected on any sunny day. Would this be a renewable or non-renewable resource? A renewable resource is something that we can reuse or get quickly, and a non-renewable resource is something that takes a very long time for us to get from the earth, and it isn't as reusable as we would like. So is energy from the sun collecting in these solar panels, would that be renewable or non-renewable? It would be a renewable resource. Gasoline. Gasoline is used to power cars and trucks. Gasoline is made from oil, which is pumped from the ground. It takes thousands of years for this oil to form. Would this be renewable or non-renewable? It would be non-renewable because it takes thousands of years for this oil to form. Biodiesel. Biodiesel is made from soybeans or other vegetable oils, which a farmer can grow in a field. Soybeans take a few months to grow. Would this be renewable or non-renewable? This would be renewable because farmers are able to grow it every single year, and it only takes about 90 days for those crops to grow and so that we can use it for biodiesel production. Paper. Paper is made from trees. Trees can grow naturally in a forest, or they can be grown on a farm. It takes a few years to grow a tree big enough to use as paper. Would this be a renewable or non-renewable resource? This would be considered a renewable resource. Food. Food is grown and produced by farmers. Fruits and vegetables are grown in fields or orchards. Meat and dairy products are produced by animals. Is this a renewable or a non-renewable resource? Food is considered a renewable resource because we can use the soil over again to help us produce and grow that food every single year. And it's a cycle that continues every single year. Clothing. Most clothing is made from cotton. Farmers grow new crops of cotton in fields each year. Is this a renewable or non-renewable resource? This would be a renewable resource because the farmer grows the cotton in the field every year, just like the other food we talked about. Plastic. Most plastic is made from oils that are pumped from the ground. It takes thousands of years for the earth to naturally produce the oil. Would this be a renewable or non-renewable resource? A non-renewable resource because it takes thousands of years for the earth to naturally produce the oil. How about glass? Glass is made from natural elements and minerals that are contained in the earth. The minerals are sand and lime. The supply of these materials is limited to what we can mine near the surface of the earth. Does that sound like an easy product to get? It would be considered a non-renewable resource. Metal. Metal is made from a mixture of minerals that are heated up and mixed together. These minerals are found in the earth, and their supply is limited to what we can mine near the surface of the earth. Again, this would be considered a non-renewable resource because it is limited to what we can mine from the surface of the earth. So now that we have an understanding of what renewable and non-renewable resources are, we are going to look at plastic as a whole. A renewable resource is often grown or produced by a farmer in a relatively short amount of time, and most non-renewable resources are produced naturally by or in the earth. This can take thousands of years to form. Do you remember what plastic was considered? Was it a renewable or a non-renewable resource? It was considered a non-renewable resource. We are now going to look at something called bioplastic. We are going to create a bioplastic today from corn. Bio means that it comes from living things. The living thing today would be that corn plant, something that we can grow in a short amount of time. And the word plastic is the source that it will end up being. So bioplastic comes from a living thing. We are going to do our bioplastic activity, and we are going to need a few supplies to do that first. We need to use our bioplastic making worksheet. You are going to need a few ingredients to help us complete the activity. We need cornstarch, water, corn oil, food coloring, a tablespoon, and a Ziploc bag. Go ahead and press play on this, or press pause here in a second and to collect your materials. And once you have collected your materials, come back and we'll complete the activity together. All right, are we ready for part 1? Your job is to measure 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and put it in your plastic bag. Add 1 tablespoon of water to the cornstarch in your bag. Add 2 small drops of corn oil in the mixture of your bag. And add 2 drops of food coloring to the mixture in your bag. Make sure you seal the bag tightly and gently mix everything together, like you can see me doing in here. So I have my water, my cornstarch, my corn oil, and my my food coloring in this bag. Make sure that you seal your bag tightly. And we are going to mix everything together. So go ahead and start mixing your ingredients together. We want to make sure all of our cornstarch at the bottom of our bag is mixed in. And once you have it mixed in, go ahead and set this down. And I want you to look back at your bioplastic sheet and answer the questions below. So describe the mixture in your plastic bag. How does it feel when you slowly squish the bag? How does it feel the same way when you squeeze the bag? Is your mixture a solid or a liquid? Once you have answered those questions, we will be ready for part 2. So take a minute, pause the video, answer those questions, and press play when you're ready to resume. Procedure part 2. You are going to microwave your mixture on high for 20 seconds, but be sure to leave your bag open a tiny bit so that the steam can escape. And be careful when you take the bag out of the microwave because it will be very hot. And you can set this on a hard plate or a surface to let it cool. Let it cool for several minutes before you take your plastic out of the bag. While it's cooling, I want you to answer the questions below. What does your new substance look like? How is it different from the mixture than you started with? If your plastic is cool, knead it with your hands. What does it feel like? And describe what it feels like. What could you make with your bioplastic? Why? What couldn't you make with it and why? What is used to make bioplastic will be your last question that you answer. Your plastic will look similar to this, and you can move it around when you're finished. So go ahead and finish answering those questions, and we have made our bioplastic. If you take a look on the screen, we mixed it together, kneaded it with our hands, placed it in the microwave, and we now have our plastic. Corn is really important to us. Nebraska grows a lot of corn. We use corn for human consumption, livestock feed, industrial products, including bioplastic. So our corn, soybeans, or our corn, the crayons that we color with, our batteries, Snickers, corn tortillas, all of those products contain corn of some kind. And it's a renewable resource. So we are able to take plants and grow them in a short amount of time and use them for products that we get to enjoy every single day, just like how we made our corn plastic. Think of different ways you could use corn plastic in our everyday lives.